789. That's 340-422-WSTX.
When we're not talking, you'll hear all your favorite songs, including calypso, jazz, love song, gospel, and those country legends, giving you more music variety. This is AM 970 WSTX.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Welcome to WSTX AM 970, your community-minded station. All right. Yeah, with your host, Doug Canton. You know, the sometimes silly, sometimes serious guy. Depending on maybe sometimes how many beans was in that particular cup of coffee or something, or what kind of caffeine in what tea or whatever. That's if I get lucky enough to get that before I get to the station. But today is a critical day, man. Y'all got to keep an eye on me to make sure that I'm all right, okay? Because I'm home alone. And ain't much mischief to get into these days. It ain't like the old days. It had all kind of mischief to get into when you're home alone. Well, not only that, but I used to have a certain person who would be here that would make sure I wasn't walking the street not eating nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, oh, how you gonna make it, dog? All right. Well, we're here, and that's the important thing. We are here, all right? And so we're going to talk about some interesting things going on in the community, as well as things you might want to talk about when you call in. Okay. I don't have my right hand person, so like the texting of information or whatever, so forth and so. I mean, you could try a thing. You could try a thing if you need to text me, but other than that, we have our phone numbers. 340-773-0390, 340-773-0490. All right. Good day. A good thing and a good day. Yeah. And speaking of a day, Mother's Day coming up. Yeah. It just I don't know. I don't know, but there's something about Mother's Day. If you forget Mother's Day, you forget Valentine's Day, you up the creek, doghouse locks change, all these kind of things that happen. No good food, whatever. Somehow the other Father's Day, they just come and like, okay. Oh, that's why. Oh, so, sometimes 11:59 on Father's Day, you get a text saying, Happy Father's Day, Daddy, or whatever the case may be, and it's like, oh, okay, you remembered. Anyhow, it's all good. I'm just talking that stuff as it's in all good. It ain't no negative in it. So, yeah, I'm home alone, and it's one of those things where we always have a chair here open. You could see, you could see over here, you got two chairs open. You could share a microphone. So every now and then, good people will drop in and say, hi, Doug, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to complain. I am not going to complain. It's all good, like I said. Okay? So let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Okay, folks, Mr. Gerard, we on the YouTube as well as Facebook, so everybody can see that your chair is empty, that you abandoned dog today. All right, okay, folks. So Gerard, let me know how the sound is out there and everything, okay? Because we got everything here set up to go. But you gotta make sure you're the man with the special ears, okay? So yeah, what's been happening in your part of the neighborhood? Hmm. In your part of the village, in your part of the island? What's been going on? What's important to you? Okay. Well, I wanted to just remind you about a organization here called Christian State Community Alliance, and membership has changed and focus is sharpened and everything else. So you're going to be hearing more from Christian State Community Alliance in terms of things that affect you here in Christian State. You, who is you? You is everybody who live here or connected to some aspect of Christian State that you care about Christian State. So the bottom line, the potholes affect everybody. The sidewalks, lack of maintenance of sidewalks, they affect everybody. The trash situation, the building situation in terms of uh, dilapidated buildings and what we can do to at least ameliorate that to some degree. Yeah, let's see what we can do. All right, good thing. So 340-773-0390, 340-773-0490. And we're here as we always are. Okay. Now, lots of interesting things going on St. Croix. You know, the 9th through the 12th, we had the literary festival and book fair. It was very successful, well attended. From Thursday, when those authors were going to the schools, and when I say authors, right, you go to the website. If you want to go to the website, uh, litfest.com, litfest.com. Okay. And you go there and you should see uh, the first page comes up. If you type in agenda after at the end there, it will bring up the agenda. You could see what all and names and people, very renowned people locally and abroad here, and talking with the teachers about how they were received and how the students were involved and the things that they were able to do in preparation and the things that they will be able to do going forward. I mean, it's very, very exciting. Exciting, folks. Exciting. And I say that because when you see that spark in our young people, you got to find more kindling and wood to turn that spark into a fire and nurture that fire and keep it burning. Okay. So they had government house reception. That was very, very nice also. Won't delve into it too deep at this time, but it was very good. And it was not like pomp and ceremony like that. We had recognition of folks who were involved in literary aspects of St. Croix and recognized and family recognized and all that good stuff. But like I said, that's another discussion. Jump over to Friday morning when things started in earnest. Of course, from my end, what could go wrong will go wrong, but I'm talking about from a different perspective. Everything went right for the people who came. Everything went right for the people who came. But sometimes, when you involve, yes, I'm a volunteer with the Lit Fest. When you're involved in things, you see a lot of little things that sometimes like, wait, no, I thought we had this top down. But anyhow, it was all very, very good. Okay, so I have no complaints, nothing but kudos and praise for how it went. And folks, the Lit Fest is a jewel of the Virgin Islands. Okay, and as Doc James would say, Doc Peterson would say, okay, It's here on the queen of them all, St. Croix. Now we say it's the queen of them all, St. Croix. But let me tell you something, the Lit Fest is a Virgin Islands thing. We had people on St. Thomas at certain locations tuning in and following the whole thing via inter-island communication. We had artists, we had poets, we had authors from St. Thomas and St. John over here on St. Croix participating in the Lit Fest. So it is a Virgin Islands thing, just that the main venue is on St. Croix. Yes, and the main venue being UVI. But yeah, we say UVI, but Friday after everything done, our roads led to Frederickstead. Yeah, Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts, where they had the book bacchanal. Yeah, okay. That from what I heard was good. And I have to tell you from what I heard, because I was on my feet performing what I had to do from like 7 o'clock that morning till about 4 o'clock that afternoon. And you know, when you're on your feet, you may not think it's much, but when you're on your feet and you having to juggle this and juggle that, in my case, the videography, the sound system, the cameras moving around, everything will come up because it's a team thing. You know, you jump in. If you ain't got somebody to cover something, you jump in the best you can and cover it. But I just had to take a rest, get off on my feet, because Saturday I had an even earlier start, because Saturday was the Bush Tea Breakfast Social. So, you know, they setting up for early, and I had to get a good footage of that that breakfast, and I did get it. And when you see that thing started off that morning with the breakfast and had open mic poetry, yeah, the video getting ready to hit the website and the Facebook page for the Lit Fest in Tutu's here. And when you see that food, you realize we were talking serious business, okay? We were talking serious business, people slipping in the door and everything else and ain't register and, you know, whatever to get that free breakfast. But that's okay. Them that who get away with that this time, we got something for you next time. In a good way. And I said that you gotta support this thing. Everything costs money to do. All right. There's no such thing as a free lunch. There's no such thing as free. Somebody paid the price. Whether it's freedom, whether it's land, you look at things like slavery, you look at things like the Trail of Tears, when you look at things at the internment camps in the United States and the railroads, hey, somebody paid a price. So anybody telling you that somehow or the other something free, it means that somebody paid the price and opened the door to you. But you got to support this literary festival and book fair, you know, literary festival and food fair. I can't get over that breakfast. I mean, they just come better every year, okay? Yeah, you know, food. You got to talk about food. But anyhow, the program was great. Started off with open mic poetry, and then we have a series of panels that spoke. And in the course of the Lit Fest, one of the panels that spoke was one of the panels that they had, that's people speak, not the panel. Okay, dog. Anyhow, one of the panels they had was on AI. And it was very, very enlightening. If you didn't see that discussion, meaning you weren't there or you didn't catch it while it was streaming, make it a point to circle back, okay? Because it's going to be a separate video on that. Because remember now, if we're there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's hours and hours. You know, you don't want to scroll through this to find everything. If you want to watch the whole thing, that's fine. But some people want to see a particular thing. Well, those panels are going to be individual videos so that you can watch them. Okay. One of the things that's clear about AI, okay, AI is no different to me than the progression of technology that augments, complements, assists, or hinders, depending on how it's used, the human beings on this planet or circling the planet if they're out in space. Right? That's all it is. You hear a lot of talk about AI taking away jobs and this and that and the other. Well, you have to look at the limitations of AI. I think it's a misnomer, a wrong terminology to say artificial intelligence. Okay? Because, you know, you know, it got stupidity in the place. And so we go into artificial intelligence and we deal with the real stupidity in the place. Okay. So don't forget we got to deal with that too, the real stupidity, not artificial intelligence. But seriously, artificial intelligence is a name that really don't fit because it's not intelligence. Intelligence comes from sentient beings. You got a problem with it?
No, he's backstage waiting to come in.
Oh, okay. All right. We're dealing with sentient beings. And the fact of the matter is that we've got
Mic check, Gerard.
Testing 1 2
the
1 2
ability to
1 2
think.
1 2.
Artificial intelligence does not think. It mimics. It takes everything that happens and try to figure out, well, okay, if this is what happened before and before and before, then this is what will happen again, which we know it don't necessarily work like that. Okay? That's just the reality. It don't necessarily work like that. So AI does make a whole lot of mistakes. AI is responsible for all those children in Iran that got killed because AI didn't know how to tell the difference between a school and a military complex. You think about that now. That's on the real dangerous side. It can't tell the difference because it's not human. So now, things that humans do, and I'll give an example of health trials, medical trials, research, those things. AI can't do that. What AI can do is it can take the information that you get through the research and assess it in all these trillions of different ways much quicker than the human brain might do it. So it's a tool that complements, in that sense, complements the human because it means that we may be able to make very important, what should I call it? Discoveries, very important discoveries in a year or 6 months or 3 months that might have taken 5 years or 10 years if we didn't have the quote unquote artificial intelligence / the help, because that's what it is. It's supposed to be a help to humans. So I think that we need to focus, just like when we had computers and the computers, everybody saying, oh, the computer's going to take over. We're going to have nothing for humans. You had the automation in the auto plants. Well, it did affect some jobs, so forth and so on, but it still need human beings because the technology requires human beings. The technology designed to complement, augment, work with, work against, but either which way, the human being factor, without us, there's no AI. Okay? So when you show me AI that can not replicate, because replicate is a mechanical function, procreate and teach and learn in the way humans do, then that's something to think about. But we ain't nowhere close to that. And human beings will evolve also. Okay? So I see my partner feel sorry for me and come to look for me online. Gerald, you there? Okay. All right, oh. Engineer, I see a black spot, but I ain't hearing him yet. So anyhow, I'll keep my eyes open for you, Gerald. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about those panels that they're going to be available as individual videos, so you'll be able to see them without having to wade through the whole 5, 6, 7 hours of stream. Okay. All right. So that was Saturday. Sunday they had the Writers Rugudu, and they also had the Children's Museum of St. Croix and a lot of authors, and they had that event down there at their new home down there going toward Frederickstead. All right, Joe. So overall, it was just a great experience. One thing that I skipped over on Saturday was after the good breakfast and whoever were fighting to stay awake and who was all alert, I didn't see anybody falling asleep. I have to say that. The food was good, but I didn't see nobody falling asleep. But after all of that long day, someone said to me, are you coming to the ekphrastic poetry event? And I had to say to myself, Lord, I've been on my feet all day. But it was in Christiansted and it's close to home. So if you start to crash out and crash like that, it was a short zip to get home and get to bed. So I said, okay, let me go check it out. Well, folks, I went and checked it out. Jared, you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I waited on
Yeah.
you. Okay, all right, good thing. So
No, somebody had called and kind of mess up the tick.
Okay, no problem. You got it under control with the do not disturb and everything else. But let me just finish up here. So the ekphrastic poetry, what is that? No, it's not castor oil. I know the name is strange like that to some people. But all these folks went to Cane Roots Art Gallery. And I said all these folks because at the time it was almost like standing room only and people outside. And it was so good, people come down the street, see it, circle back around, find a place to park and come in and got involved. But basically, they take the exhibit that's there and they look at the pictures and they come up with a poem. And you see all of these people and they got a clipboard and writing. Yeah, like kung fu writing. Yeah, them were going at it, my son. Them pens was fast as lightning. And they're going at it. And after that was done, then everybody stood up and did their poem. And wow, the creativity. It was fun to be there and see it happen. But you know what? It's going to be there on video too. Okay? So yeah, everybody was poetry writing. Them pens was fast as lightning, and you're going to be able to see for yourself because it was good like that. Not only good like that, it has blossomed because them folks had set up for people to come. But a crowd come in a way that it's like, wait, no, it's a tsunami of people. So hey, I look forward to seeing that type of thing happen. Maybe every quarter or ever so often, whether it's a Lit Fest sponsored or some other poetry or organization or individuals get together and make it happen. It was a great community event. Okay, that was real good. Okay, so good morning, Jared.
Good morning, your host.
Good morning, your
co-host is here.
Your
co-host is here.
You're
It's not
sure
AI.
you're here where?
It's not AI.
I don't
It's not
see you.
AI. And it's not AI.
I don't see you.
You don't see me?
in
Why not?
here.
Why not?
I see you over there, but I only see you in here. You go to
Adeado.
here. I don't see,
Adeado.
huh?
Adeado. Adeado.
You're there. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you're in there alone. We there.
Yeah.
I there home alone, but you there. Okay.
You
Good
know,
thing. Good thing.
I was thinking if a blind man could do it, how it give some other people so much trouble.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
This technology where you can participate remotely is so fantastic, especially for the grandparents because you have children, they're working in California, Washington State, Tokyo, um, China in some cases, Kazakhstan, but to be able to see your family and to see the newborns, you may not be able to make a trip, but just that one aspect of it alone to help create that bond through technology. This is one of the great ways in which you could look at technology and say, yeah, this is really, really something that's beneficial for all of us. Okay. But yeah, so today is your birthday, and we're so glad you came along. Today is your birthday, and Doug just had to sing this song. So you're older and you're smarter. My, you've grown a lot. You're older and you're wiser. You're the cream of the crop. Happy birthday, John.
Thank you, sir.
And don't tell me to keep my day job.
I hope that. I just about to say. I just about to say. I hope it ain't called Irene Sam.
Oh, speaking of rain, man, you know something? Ain't nothing more loyal than weeds. You hear? They don't always come back.
Yeah, but
If they leave you, they don't come back.
Tell me something.
Uh-huh.
Where the have my voice coming out?
Your voice coming through the speaker.
At the far wall.
Okay.
At the far wall.
Huh?
At the far wall or by the board. The board.
Why, it's too soft?
No, I'm hearing an echo.
You're hearing an echo. Okay. That's the speaker.
When I talk, I can hear myself.
Is it less now?
Well, let me see. Testing. No, it's still there.
Okay, it'll still be there. Okay, we got we got a technology issue that we have to resolve here. All right, in terms of getting it pumped straight into the system. And one of the key things there is that we may just have to wear headphones in here to follow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the price we pay for the moment. Okay.
Kind of like me right now.
Like
me right now.
Huh?
Kind of like me right now with my headphones.
Yep. Okay. But I'm hearing you clear. So hopefully the audience, maybe Big Sis could keep you straight and let you know whether or not they picking it up also. Okay. All right. Good thing.
Well, it's another Thursday. And it's my B-day, my birthday. So good morning, St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island. Christian said, Mid Island, good morning around the world. Somebody get paid today. Guess who? I get paid today.
All right.
And it's my body.
Oh, okay. So
What about they give?
Find the party there, bro. Where the party there?
Man, all road leads to no bones.
Yeah, okay. Are they open?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I I mean, the times that I go by there are the times that they would normally be open. I just didn't know. I haven't heard much about
Well,
them lately.
I hear they say they don't hear
I
echo.
hear
So
they say they don't hear echo. So
Okay, that's good. So we know it's there, but they're not hearing it, which is the best thing. Okay.
that's true.
All right.
that's true.
Oh yeah. So anyhow, I was talking about the Lit Fest a minute ago,
Yeah, I
and
heard you.
one of
Yeah, I
the
heard you.
one of the displays that they had on there was some paintings and artifacts that were made by some of our people who are incarcerated. And so there is an exhibit that opens up today at the fort in Frederickstead, and the title is "Still We Rise: Art Behind the Walls." And I had a chance to pass through and see it, and I have to tell you, we got some talented people who just took a wrong turn, and it's wonderful that they have the opportunity to have art as an outlet as they navigate toward turning their life around in a different direction. Okay, I would highly encourage everyone to go down to the fort in Frederickstead. Today they're gonna have an opening from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., which makes it possible if you working to go down there after work and check it out. But like any other exhibit, it's going to be there afterward during normal working hours for the fort. Right? And they had a display at the Lit Fest of some of the artwork that was coming out of the uh, the folks behind the walls. Right? Yeah, I really support any effort to do outreach to persons who are incarcerated. People can make mistakes, but that doesn't mean that mistakes are the rest of their life. That they're just going to go through making mistakes, and the having avenues to them for them is important. Now, I reflect on once upon a time there was a move to get computers into the YRC, and there was some pushback in the community. And when I say pushback, I'm talking about the verbal pushback. One person could get on the radio and sound like 1,000 people or 5,000 people, and because they sound like so many people, the others get intimidated.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the statement was in essence that, why we put in computers in YRC and we ain't got them in the schools. Well, why it have to be one or the other? You know, education doesn't run the prisons, so education have their own budget, and if the prisons and other organizations gonna get monies into the budget to get folks to learn how to do AI, to learn how to code. I mean, not to have access to the internet so they could get into all the other stuff, but to learn this very valuable tool that it could be part of why they don't fall into recidivism. So I was shocked when I heard that, but later on, that shock really turned into the reality that people can feel a way if they have not been given information to feel a different kind of way. And so, in that context, we just have to work on a situation where we give them the information to be able to feel a different way. Okay? And that's all it is. That's all it is in that context. Yeah.
Dog,
So,
But
mhm.
even though you give them the information,
you give them the information,
some people don't know the process.
Some people don't know how to process it.
Well, that's the reality I was talking about. That
Yeah,
you could have
because-
good information out there,
because
but you always have a certain percentage of the population who aren't going to get it. Maybe the way you're explaining it or whatever, they just have to figure it out some other kind of way. So when I'm
no,
on this,
well,
on
once
this
they have that
station,
prejudice,
Once they have that prejudice,
they don't get it.
prejudice,
They don't get
stigma, all of these things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We can
Yeah.
do what we can do, but
Mhm.
certain people have to uplift themselves. As I say all the time, there's nothing more powerful than a person who has persuaded themselves of something. You being able to persuade them may not work. Okay? But there's always that little bit of hope or a whole lot of hope that they're gonna come across some things that's going to educate them. Now, let me go off a little bit at the deep end here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a sheriff in the States who is being retried for the killing of a young man. Okay. And uh, the young man had a gun, the safety was on, and it was on his body. The policeman say he feared for his life, thought the guy had a gun, and the guy was just going home with a Subway sandwich for his family, himself, his family. Anyhow, now
So you're telling me
the
this
man had
Subway,
six
Subway
shots.
has look like a rifle?
Subway has look like a rifle.
I don't know. The boy had 6 shots, and 5 of them was from behind. They said he have a shot that he was shot from the front, so he could have something from the side or whatever. A shot twist you around, and the next one catch you from the side or whatever. And so the question is, you know, what's reasonable fear for your life? Me personally, I can't see it. I can't see it. Okay. Police perform a very important task in our community. But when people feel that they can pull out a gun and fire like that, it's just like the use of body cams now. There should be no state, no county, no federal institution that has law enforcement that don't use them. Right? But in California, a judge in an appeals court just knocked down a ruling that federal people, law enforcement, have to have identification on them. You know, you see a police, they got a badge, they got a number, a name, ID, or whatever. And for me, this idea of people who you can't identify being able to use deadly force and all these other things, and then it creates a problem with documenting what went down, is counterintuitive unless you want to go back to the days of what it was like in Germany and Hitler time or something like that, where they could just disappear you, do something to you, and in the end, nobody could put 2 + 2 together beyond the fact that somebody did it, but if somebody had on a mask and you couldn't see who they was and they didn't have no idea, whatever. It just makes it more possible for persons to abuse their law enforcement powers. Right? So I don't know. You know, there's a fine balance, but somehow the other, since we got into this thing about neutralize a threat, which is point a gun to somebody's chest and bust a shot, or point a gun to somebody's back and bust a shot, or jump into the car and just bust shot into the car. I mean, I don't know. Anyhow, It just one of those things. I saw that story, and it's, you go to the States and you rent a car and you're going down the road. Anybody who driving a car down the road could get stopped for whatever reason. But what you're expecting is somebody who's looking for objective information, not coming at you in a profile sense that somehow or the other you must be a criminal. And as such, they have to process you as somebody who is a criminal who has done something, and you have no real basis on which to suspect them of doing something. And yeah, it just one of those quandaries of things that we have to work through and figure out how we're going to create balance. Because you make a mistake over a Subway sandwich, a child is dead. You know, you don't say, "Oh, I make a mistake," and like a video game, start the game over, and the person is back to life. Anyhow, so much for my thoughts on that.
So,
Okay.
so you have your
So
soapbox.
I
So
see
you
that.
have your soapbox.
Huh?
You have your
No,
soapbox.
I wasn't on the
You have your
soapbox.
soapbox.
I wasn't on the soapbox. No. You see, they had groundbreaking at Central High. They're rebuilding the school.
They were building the school, the same site. Building the school, the same site.
The same site.
Okay.
Gonna be
Okay.
interesting. It's gonna be interesting. One of the things that I would say to the government is that we need a site to go to that's nothing but government projects where they have renderings. So people could see what this new Central High going to look like. Now, if you were at the groundbreaking, I'm sure they had some pictures up and everything else. But I just think that they could do a better job of educating the public about what to expect in the future if they would just have a PR push of just that aspect, what it's supposed to look like.
A lot of
Okay.
breaking, but how much ribbon cutting? How much ribbon cutting?
Well, the ribbon cutting to go inside, the groundbreaking us have a ribbon cutting too, as far as I'm concerned. But I hear you. I hear you. It's been quite some time since 2017. Okay? We just around the corner from 2027. 10 years have gone by.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Mm-hmm.
we have to figure out how we're going to leverage our assets to kind of speed this thing up. When I go back up to Massachusetts and I get on that road heading from Worcester up to Boston, or to head down to Rhode Island, or whatever the case may be, there's a section of highway there that 3 whole lanes. They make a whole new 3 lanes so that they could walk on the main 3 lanes and totally redevelop it. And by the time I get back, they're gonna be back to the original 3 lanes as refurbished and rebuilt and redesigned and everything else. Every time I drive down the Queen Mary Road and I coming down from Kings Hill heading west, every time I hit that bridge, I think of the Calypso song they're trying to focus. Because that's a piece of crap. That's a piece of crap. Broke it up. You got bunks up every time you. I mean, after you go at 60 miles an hour and traffic moving at 80 miles an hour, and you come across a bridge and you hear doo-doo, 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 okay? Because that's that type of highway thing. But there's no reason for us not to have smooth asphalt and a smooth curve going up and a smooth curve going down. There's no reason. But it's what we settle for. Unfortunately, that's the way I look at it. Okay. Something else going on in the community. You were saying?
Yeah, no. When you say that, it put me in mind of that tool that my partner got. That tool that my partner got up there in Florida.
Yeah, well, that tool, the thing about it is you you have a community to deal with, Gerard. You might bust it on one, but the rest of them will gang up on you and hold you down and take it from you and use it on you. Okay?
Yeah, but in the community, make the road.
It's the community that accepts mediocre to poor design and implementation.
Well,
that's the side of the equation we have to focus on.
They accept it, but who in charge of that? Who in charge of that pass it? That pass it.
I gonna put it to you this way, Gerard. Election coming in November.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have what you call it, primaries in September. When you look at our election on government election years, the numbers on St. Croix for becoming a senator is around $5,000 to $7,000, 7,000 not dollars, people votes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If on any one issue, all the people on St. Croix do a petition to get something done and put 4,000 or 5,000 names on it that can be verified as voting people, you don't think the incumbents will get out the tail and make sure it happens?
Doggy.
You think about that.
Doggy.
No, this is why I'm saying that's the side of the equation.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But here's another point.
Mm-hmm.
Kujan people don't hold one head.
Gerard.
Okay? They don't stick together.
Gerard, you're saying why I don't say? That's the other side of the equation. How do we bring the power to bear, the power of the people to bear? Right now, the power of the people is so fractured. Fractured, meaning the same thing you're saying, not holding one head. And so the politicians get to, play the people. All right. Now, back in the day, running for office, I was in such good shape because I was in so many different neighborhoods, going door to door, getting out to the communities and so forth and so on. Now, you have an election, you don't even see nobody.
That's true.
I mean, not even a little motorcade pass through, whatever. Right? You put up a few signs here and there. I'm just saying that that's how they operate, but they're operating with the understanding and belief that people get on the talk show and complain, but in the context of doing something about it, that there's a big divide, a big gap. And up to this point, they've been making their bet and winning. All right? So I am saying it's not to complain, but hopefully as food for thought for the folks that are out there. Whatever it is you're complaining about, the question is, what have you done to make a different result happen? And a lot of folks does neuter themselves, so to speak, and say, well, me, it's only one person, it can't make a difference, But yet, They go out there and they say 1-1. You know the phrase.
Uh-huh.
They say the
But
phrase.
but
Talking the talk is one thing.
as you say,
As
to
you
talk,
say,
call it talk show and complain.
call it talk show and complain.
I was listening to a talk
I
show
was listening
yesterday,
to a talk show yesterday,
and a woman called and
and a woman
complained about
called
Tram
and
bus.
complained about tram bus.
Now here's the thing.
Now here's the thing.
She called out the bus number,
She called
bus
out the bus number,
57.
bus 57.
Right? So the driver just
Right?
passed
So
and
the
he even
driver just
stop and they
passed and
flagging the
he even
driver
stop
down.
and they flagging the driver down.
Now I had
Now
to call in
I had
the
to
show
call in the show
and let them know that it's two
and
types
let
of
them know that
bus
there's two types of bus
on the road.
on the road.
You have the paratransit
You have the
bus.
paratransit bus.
Those are the ones that you will see the
Those are the ones that
numbers
you will see the numbers
on the side or the back or
on the
wherever the
side or
numbers
the
are,
back or wherever the
which is
numbers are,
57,
which is
60,
57, 60,
62, 44,
62, 44,
42, and those are the
42, and
numbers.
those are the numbers.
Right? Those are the
Right?
paratransit bus.
Those are the
Those are
paratransit
the
bus.
buses
Those are the
that you
buses
have to call in
that
the
you
day
have to
before
call in the day before
to schedule a pickup
to
for them to
schedule a
pick you up
pickup for them to
at your
pick you up
house
at your house
to drop you where you need to go.
to drop you where you need to go.
Then there's a fixed route
Then there's
bus
a fixed route bus
that runs on Center Line
that
Road
runs on Center Line Road,
and the one that runs
and the
between
one that
the
runs
terminal
between the terminal
and the old Kmart
and the old Kmart
through Calcahoon way,
through Calcahoon
and
way,
and then the
and
terminal
then the
to Thai
terminal
Village
to Thai
through
Village
Princess Way,
through Princess Way,
and then the main
and
road
then the main road
Vitram bus.
by bus.
So another caller
So
calling and
another caller
thank me
calling and
for
thanked me for
explaining that
explaining that
because they didn't know. But the Carlene I was complaining the bus driver. I said the bus driver just passed them straight and he didn't pick them up. Hello? Doggy? Can't hear you. Can't hear nothing. Am I, am I offline? Hey, what happened here? Something happened to the stream. Hmm. Call 340-773-0490. Call 340-773-0390. Yes, good morning. This is Gerard. Something happened to the stream. Oh, I can't hear nothing in the studio. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Monday through Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sundays at 2220 Queen Cross Street in Christiansted. For orders and daily specials, call us at 340-713-4825. Ital in Paradise. It's a great place to eat.
AM 970, WSTX, Christiansted, Fredericksted, and the Virgin Islands.
You've got places to go, and better banking can help you and your money go further. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible, high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from Bank of St. Croix, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps, like using your mobile banking app or getting your paychecks by direct deposit. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning up to 2.00% APY. Learn more at bankofstcroix.com/elevate or visit your local banking center. Must meet certain criteria to qualify. Rates may change at any time without notice after the account is open. APY is accurate as of June 1st, 2024. $25 minimum deposit required to open. These or other conditions could reduce earnings on the account. Member FDIC.
AM 970, WSTX.
Yeah, folks, we're back. We are back. Okay. And hopefully the zombie them they're gonna leave us alone. Oh yeah. Hopefully the zombie them gonna leave us alone. But when they get ready, there's something else, So hopefully you got our sound coming through to you.
Gerard, turn your mic on.
Okay. Jerry, your mic there off. But anyhow, we have got okay. So we got our feedback coming in from the community telling us what's going on out there. YouTube is the stream is up to YouTube, and we see it going out to Facebook. If you're having issues on Facebook, we need to know. All right. So 340-773-0390, 340-773-0490. Okay. Good thing. I know these zombies mustn't feel like we ain't been giving a shot if they had to come back and make their presence more known. Something like that. Anyhow. So let me proceed here with some things here for the community calendar, because I talked about the exhibit that opens up at the fort today. From 4 to 7 is the opening event. And that is where you have a whole bunch of artwork there that came from behind the walls, behind the prison walls. Yep. Okay. Golden Grove. The people in Golden Grove are like people anywhere else, except that they've done something or are accused of something and incarcerated until such time. Whatever the case, they're in there, but some of them are being exposed to environments where they can engage in art. And the art that they have made is going to be on display at the fort. And the exhibit opens up this evening from 4 to 7, and then it's going to be there for quite some time. Figure out the end date, if they have an end date for when they're going to change it. And sometimes an exhibit will stay there until the next exhibit comes in. So the important thing is there, and you can see what our folks are doing. Now, when you see somebody talking to a wall, some people will say, well, wait, no, I think he gone in. Okay. Well, it used to be when cell phone had first come out, and they had the headpiece, so you could just talk. You didn't have to hold up the phone. You had all these people walking around, and to some people, it looked like they were talking to themselves. And some folks would say, I think he gone in. She gone in. Okay. Yeah, gone in. That was slang once upon a time, or still is, for losing it. Yeah. So, but in fact, if you're talking to the wall and the wall answer you back, what are you going to say? So maybe you might want to try talking to the wall and see if the wall answers you back. Because there's an exhibit being put together to open up at the end of May, the 30th of May. And the name of the exhibit is When the Walls Answer. Now, I think it's a very artsy and nice way of saying when the walls answer, because we have a lot of walls here that have a story to tell. Walls for buildings that stand, walls that are the remnants of buildings that were there, but they have a story behind them. They have a story behind them. The people that built those buildings, the things that went on at those buildings, the history involved around those buildings. So, yes, when the walls answer, all right? Now, this is a DPNR / Department of Libraries and Museums. And they're inviting you to participate in these things, okay? When the walls answer. And they're calling for artists, okay? And the planned opening is May 30th. The deadline to have your art entered is, and delivered, I should say, is the 25th of May. All right. Okay. All right. Now, they have a deadline also for if you're going to make a proposal for your art for the 11th. But the most important thing is you communicate with the folks down there at the fort. If you are an artist who is contemplating or want to have made a decision to have your art displayed there when the walls answer, hey, definitely. So, there's some questions that you would ask along the way, like, what stories live inside historic places? There's things there that sometimes we just take for granted. We just pass it and it just ruin a bunch of stones or whatever the case is. How does the architecture that was there reflect our culture? Okay. When you look at buildings back then and buildings today, how things changing and it's for the better. However, whatever. Anyhow, that exhibit will open up on May 30th. So definitely look forward to that. And I have to give it to those folks down there at the fort. They're keeping a very good flow of events, cultural and artistic events going on down there. Another organization along the same line is Chant. Then you come up east and you have places like the Cane Roots Art Gallery. You got to pass through these places and check out the exhibits that they have. Sometimes it's surprising, enlightening, or inspirational, but you can't get none of those things if you don't go and take a look. Okay. Good thing. So let's talk a little bit about something else that's coming up. Today is Thursday, the 23rd. And on Friday and Saturday, Friday the 24th and Saturday the 25th, there's a very important conference going on. And I say important, after a while, somebody gonna say, Doug, everything important. Some things more than others, but all I'm gonna say is that in the context of health is the most important wealth that there is. And we want to talk about health. One of the things we want to talk about is what's going on in terms of cancer in the Virgin Islands. Cancer that starts here in the Virgin Islands. Cancers where people come down here to the Virgin Islands and living and need care. Cancer touches everybody. Everybody has a vested interest as far as I'm concerned, because if it's not you, it's your special person or someone else in your family, a close friend. So the Yvonne Ashley Gallagher Breast Cancer Foundation is having their breast and prostate cancer conference Friday and Saturday. Okay, and this is going to be at the UVI Great Hall, and they're going to also have breakout sessions in other rooms that address other subjects. I've had a chance to look at the event schedule, and I said, wow, the breakout events are so interesting that sometimes you might find yourself in a situation where you really want to be in two places at once.
Mic check.
Okay? But the
Testing,
breast
1, 2.
and prostate
Testing, 1,
cancer
2.
conference starts tomorrow, okay, at the UVI Great Hall. So be there by 8 or be there late. That's what I would tell you. Cruise time and traffic. The bottom line is be there. Okay. So they're going to have a set of presentations going on, like I said, in the Great Hall, and then they're going to have the breakout sessions going on, and that's Thursday and Friday. So we got him back.
Mic check.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
Okay, I hearing him over there.
Okay. Go again.
Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
Okay, a little better there. Okay. All right, so the breast and prostate cancer conference coming up Friday, April 24th and Saturday, April 25th. Folks, calling out numbers, but that's tomorrow and Saturday. Okay. And something else is going on tomorrow and Saturday is Caribbean Community Theater. Okay. All right. Steel Magnolias. I'm telling you, one good play after another. Steel Magnolias started last weekend. Had the Friday show and the Saturday show at 8 p.m. and the Sunday matinee at 4. And this is the last weekend now. You have the Friday and Saturday at 8 and this Sunday at 4. All right. So definitely mark your calendar, and if you're there, I might see you there, or you might see me there. But most important, to enjoy the play there. All right. Good thing. All right. So we got somebody here on line 1, Jared. Let's see
Yes,
who
sir,
we
I'm
got.
here.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Good morning.
Good
WSTX.
morning, Mr. Canton.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Grant.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mr. Grant.
Good morning to Mr. GOG. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good, Gerard, in there?
He didn't have, but he a remote, so he responded to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As I just get up and I put my Facebook page, the first thing pop up. It's just Gerard body.
Uh-huh. All right.
So how old he be though?
I think he's stuck at 16.
Yeah.
I
stuck at 18.
I stuck at 18. At Easter Sunday, just turned 62. So, hey, time is
stuck
moving.
at 18. Stuck at 18.
I want to wish you all the best. Enjoy your special day, my friend.
I intend to do so.
Yeah,
I intend to do so.
Yeah, we got.
I have a question.
He got a little delay. So when you say something to him, he had a little delay, and then you'll hear him speak. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was doing some research and I came across this bit of information, and I just want to share with you. I want to get your opinion on it. The U.S. Treasury the U.S. government is insolvent. U.S. Treasury consolidated financial statement fiscal year 2025. 6.10 trillion in total assets, 47.78 trillion in total liability as of September 30th, 2025, which is the end of the fiscal year. So, with that being said, Dougie, if your assets is 6 trillion and your liabilities is 47, what kind of fiscal financial trouble you in as the U.S. government?
Well, you're running a deficit.
And with the cost of living going up with fuel because of what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, is that going to make it even worse?
Of course. For everybody.
So we're facing a major deficit, inflation. How is things good? Because I keep hearing all of these economists saying that we're looking for not a recession, but a depression globally if this keeps up with the Strait of Hormuz. Because remember, not only is it messing with fuel, it's messing with helium, which I had no idea helium is in the process of making, I guess, computer chips. And it's also messing with fertilizer, where we're now in spring, and this is when most farmers start, I guess, plowing their fields to start planting so that they come November, they could start harvesting. So, what I'm getting at is that I don't understand why our government is so lackadaisical when it comes to things like this. Why are we not being proactive?
Well,
if these are the signs, these are the red flags that we're seeing. And this is just me as a regular Joe. I ain't no economist. I can't look at the consumer price index and tell you this, that, and the other. So, I don't see the urgency.
Well,
when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to just basic economics.
There's a lot in the Virginians where people kind of just going with the flow, and that may not be good, but it may be what it is, and it is what it is. In that context, okay, this too shall pass, kind of thinking. I am not sure, but I know one thing for sure. I noticed I got less traffic on the road. Okay.
Well, could it be because the high cost of fuel? Because
yes.
Right now, unless I gotta go someplace like before, I would just, what? I just feel like taking a Sunday drive. Just to drive around the city. No, I like it. Unless I gotta go someplace specifically, because my little gas station 2 blocks from here, whereas to get it below the BP gas station across the street. Well, the fuel went up. I used to get my fuel for $3.39. Since March, when we had the issue now with Iran, the price is now $4.90 something, almost $5. So from less than $3.50 to almost $5. So almost $1.50. The price has increased in less than a month. Because it's March, the end of March is when this conflict started, just about a month ago.
And this,
so you know what that means? Diesel prices going up. So that means if you're in the Virgin Islands and you shipping stuff in, especially if you're shipping stuff in as a wholesaler or retailer or whatever, and you gotta come to one of these Crowley or Tropical, I just call them just to get their take. I call Crowley and Tropical. To ship a car, it has gone up $500 from Florida since the cost of fuel has gone up. That's a car. So if you have businesses where you gotta be shipping in trailers and stuff, what does that mean for the regular consumer? 1 second, Dougie. Sorry about that, folks. I said I'm gonna check to make my tea. Yeah, that means that everything is going up.
Everything is going up.
Food in the supermarket to if you order something online and you have to have it shipped.
Brother, there's a calamity that's coming. The crisis is already here. The calamity is coming. But the crisis is already here, as far as I'm concerned. Like you, if I don't have to be on the road, I'm not going.
Trouble.
Well, the calamity is here. Let me warn you too, Dougie, because on Monday, my cousin who lived in St. Thomas, like Corwin Terrace, and for the listening audience, Corwin Terrace is a residential area, and the western end of St. Thomas is adjacent from Shirley King and right before you get to the UVI campus. Well, she sent me a picture here, Dougie, where we had at the foot of her street, there is a manhole cover that's overflowing raw sewage, toilet tissue, and the whole shebang.
If you can hear me, the studio is offline again.
Jumbi them file a grievance, brother. You have to have a birthday more often.
Oh, really?
Definitely, because that's what they're saying. Apparently. Okay.
Well, sir,
We'll have to work on it.
you have to work on a lot of things.
A lot of things. A lot of things. A lot of things. Okay.
Anyway, I want to remind the public
Uh-huh.
that yesterday, April 22nd, 2026, was National AT Awareness Day. The theme was assistive technology everywhere, everyone. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what's assistive technology?
Technology that improves the quality of life, including navigation, hearing, eating, digestion, whatever the technology, however, is going to affect us. To me, assistive technology is just that broad. AI, in fact, is part of assistive technology, but within the context of disability, all right, as it might take on a different focus there. All right, and I'll let you talk about that.
My famous one is the duct tape.
A what?
duct tape.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You think you're smart, you know. You're something else. Whoever did discovered how to make duct tape came up with a great form of assistive technology.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But VIU said, otherwise known as Virgin Islands University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, they actually joins all programs across the 50 states, 4 territories, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico, in celebrating this day yesterday. Assistive technology, this program is so in depth, because it provides access to persons with disabilities and the Asian community, to assist them with whatever they may need, to assist them with functioning in their daily lives. So this is something that's very well needed, and I am proud to be a part of that here in the territory, working alongside VIU said. So VIU said, I was doing big things under the umbrella of the UBI, and they also do, like I always say, the ICANN Connect program. The ICANN Connect program is also known as the Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program. If you or your loved one have a considerable hearing and vision loss, this program is for you. You can visit icanconnect.org or call for each of these programs 340-792-4692. I have so much numbers to remember in my head.
You got WSTX on the brain.
And I get it mixed up.
WSTX on the brain.
You can call 340-692-4267. And someone will be there to answer your call, take care of you, whether you need assistive technology, whether you need, to sign up for the ICANN Connect program, whether you need to make an appointment to come in to make an assessment, to be assessed for, maybe you need to learn how to use your phone, your tablet, or whatever you may need. Give us a call, 340-692-4267, or you can call me directly at 340-692-4266 to make an appointment if you need training on your mobile devices, But
right. Well,
yesterday was
one of the other
National AP Awareness Day.
One of the other things, people may not think of concrete as being, or wood as being assistive technology per se, but one of the things that I wanted to throw out there, that in our conversation a couple of days ago, with VIU said they have this trades program, and you, folks, I'm just calling it trades because when you add up all the letters, not like a walk-in trade. It's a program that addresses things that a person with disability needs some cash to get something done to improve their quality of life. And now let me narrow that down. For instance, a simple little thing, if you lose your mobility, as in being able to walk, and you now have to use a wheelchair, for many people, getting into their house becomes a challenge. So a simple thing like a ramp can make all the difference. And The VIU said, as you were explaining to me, have this program that can assist persons with disability in that way. Whether it's a grant or loan, the bottom line, I believe it's loans at this point, but it's better than nothing, because here you are, you may have a disability and not working and on a fixed income, and you're going into the bank and asking them for a loan so you could build a ramp for your house. I wish I could say that I think that they would be responsive, but I sincerely doubt it. You know?
Well, if you come to BIU said, we can assist you with getting a low interest loan. You know, I think the interest is, I think, 4%. You know, so yeah, it works out fine for everyone.
Yeah. Because there is a need. There is a need.
Yes.
And we have to think different to address that need. Now, Gerard, I wanna shift gears here a little bit back to something we were talking about there when Devon came online. And that's about the crisis and the calamity.
Right.
Gerard, I went to look at hard drive the other day. Someone came to me with an issue and they just needed external storage because they had a computer that basically had very low RAM and used the cloud. And I said, well, they had mission sensitive things that they didn't want to and really shouldn't have a situation where they couldn't get to their stuff because it's on the cloud and the internet is down. So they needed their own local storage. Well, I was looking at an SSD. That's a kind of a hard drive, folks, for those who aren't on the technical side. And it cost me, let's say, $250. But when I went to look it up to make a copy of the stuff to give it to the person so they could order, it was $550 now. Between tariffs, oil and shipping and all of this other stuff, things, if they were bad, you know, the folks want to say it was bad under Biden. Well, there is plenty of proof that it is worse under Trump. And I'm saying that not to focus on Trump. This is not about who like Trump or who don't like Trump. This is just facts. And they're involved in a war that is open-ended for all practical purposes. Nobody can see any light at the end of the tunnel. And the price of gas keep going up. The price of everything else going up. Price of everything coming into the Virgin Islands have to go up because everything in here coming into ships that burn diesel. Hey, I don't see the difference with VI cargo on these folks. I mean, they're business. If it costs more to bring it down on a boat, it costs more.
Boat costs gas, you know.
Well, diesel in this case, yeah. No.
Well, diesel is gas.
That's what I'm saying.
Basically.
Yeah, I mentioned. That's why I mentioned diesel. Yeah.
Diesel oil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now there's another aspect of that in the process we have to be aware of, because we switch over to propane. But how does that propane get here? Gets here by a ship. And ship means diesel, which means the cost of transportation going to ultimately impact the cost of the fuel. Because they're not going to absorb that cost. They're going to charge it to WAPA. So,
well, you know, it's been going up. It's been going up. First of all, with the tariffs.
Right.
Right, and now with the ignorance with the start there in the Middle East, and go up even more.
You call it ignorance, right? And it's not funny.
I call it that. That's the best way I could put it on the air.
Right. No, I understand. I'm glad I'm glad you're on the high road.
Well, every time I think about it, dog, I want to speak French.
No, man.
You know,
French,
I don't want. I honestly want to speak French.
French, Portuguese, and Chinese at the same time.
It's not called for. You know, it is something that is not called for.
Gerard.
You know,
Gerard. Okay. You know, people are just in this case, we have a president who did what he did in Venezuela. That was easy. I mean, I got a chutzpah. I go flex and do it. A monkey literally didn't know what tree to climb, even though all them people that he have around him to advise him, they're telling him the truth. They're firing them left and right. They're firing the people that are telling the truth.
Oh, and I'm gonna tell you that mic and that phone that we got there in that studio, it needs to need an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. Because all of a sudden, they hear distorting. I hear it on my end. Okay.
Yeah, it needs an upgrade because you got some problems. You're coming in, but sometimes I have some issues hearing what you're saying. So I need to send Mr. Rains a link.
Oh, no problem.
To get rid of that.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. Anyhow.
Yeah, but I changed my browser thinking that the Edge browser I was using was the problem, but I guess the Edge wasn't the problem because over time I lost the studio again.
Right.
And I got a text from someone telling me that they lost you, like the studio went out. I guess they were looking at it through YouTube or Facebook or whatever.
Well, Facebook.
And they said that
YouTube, we had an issue for a quick second. Something, a setting got changed or whatever. But that aside, we're working on that. Yeah. But to come, I just want to get back to what we're talking about, the last 10 minutes counting down here, which is that folks here in the Virgin Islands need to be tightening their belt. Okay. And that also means that in the process, if they don't tighten the belt, all it means is that they're going to run out of money, meaning the average consumer. But you know, if the consumer tighten the belt, who's going to feel it? The businesses here that used to benefit from the spending of the consumer. It was so interesting years ago. Persons in the private sector were saying government too big, they need to cut down the size of government. Well, they cut down the size of government, and you know what? Less government money out there spending from salaries, and then all of a sudden they say, wait, no, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it, and they got it, and they had a different attitude after that. Okay, I'm just saying that it's clear, the writing is on the wall, that everything is going up. So that means, just like when they say hurricane season, well, we have another hurricane season, this one being the economic hurricane season. And a big one hitting all around the world.
Right.
I would not be surprised at the rate we're going.
Listen, we in problem, my friend. We got a lot of problems.
On all shores. On all shores. Because now, for instance, with the cost of gasoline being what it is, remote work becomes much more desirable, for instance. But we have an administration that and I don't mean locally, I mean nationally, that basically is anti-remote work. But if you used to pay $3 a gallon and now you're paying $5 a gallon, that's a 66%
Well,
jump in your cost. And in that context, what you need to be doing is figuring out how you're going to cut down on that bleeding. So now all of a sudden, remote work is one of the things that needs to be looked at. It's not COVID, but it's economic. I should say it's economic, other than with a COVID driver. But people budget for what they budget for, and the reality is that for those people on limited budget, a whole $2 more for gas, a whole $1.50 more for gas, a whole $1 more for gas is a deal breaker.
Well, it was startling the other day. My coworker, she pulled up one of those, I guess was a post on Facebook, I think it was. Well, one of those islands, I can't remember if it was St. Kitts or one of those islands down the chain there. A gallon of gas was $20.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that and I said, I remember when I used to take my truck used to take 15 gallons to fill that up. So I started to think about that. If I had that vehicle down in that country, 15 gallons, 15 times 20, lad, man.
Well,
I won't drive that vehicle. I buy a bike.
You stay home and work remote.
You know what I mean? I buy a bike or back in them country where you got them Vespa. Yeah.
Well, you know,
Rather than driving
we have a cultural thing with cars here in the Virgin Islands.
It's not get rough around here.
You know, and not only that, we have the taste that we have. I see a lot of Audis, and the BMW ain't even the in thing no more. It's Audis and I see the Mercedes making a comeback. I'm not criticizing anything. I'm just saying that when you have these cars and you go to buy a water pump for a Toyota might cost you $50. For a BM or a Mercedes, it might cost you $250. You know, it does the same thing.
It's a double and triple the price now.
Right. But I'm just saying that the disparity between what type of car you get, and two, the fact that you have tariffs now and import fees and so forth, and so all of these things that are coming into play. That you could see. I could tell you when I get on the road that I see a market difference in it. The pressure is getting on to where people are saying, "Well, if I ain't gotta drive, me ain't going nowhere."
Yeah, well, dog, I see the time here. It's creeping up on that 10 o'clock hour.
That's right.
So
and you're gonna tell everybody. You're gonna tell everybody to do a random act of kindness. That's what you're gonna do for your birthday.
No, I can tell them to do a random act. Be like me and do a random act because, hey, these days I know what kindness can get. What kindness can get you? To do a random act. You know, because what?
Well, I have to be happy that we were able to have as much laughs as we have been able to have on your birthday. Okay. Even Devon get a couple of good ones there on his way out. Okay. So it's that time, folks. It's that time. And we have some guests coming in next Thursday. It is next Thursday we got them coming in?
No, they're coming in on the 7th.
On the 7th.
It'll
Okay.
be the 7th at 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Who we have? Who we have coming?
Hopefully, huh?
Who we have coming?
Oh, that would be Miss Shamika Thomas, Miss Khalifa Thomas, and Miss Sharon Williams. Those are the principals. Those are the principals of VIU said Virgin Islands University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. They will be gracing us with their presence on the 7th of May at 9 a.m.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm so glad we're gonna have these people coming in here from this powerful organization that's doing so much that sometimes they don't blow their hand enough. That's why I'm so glad to have you here blowing their hand.
So that's why they're gonna be there. Hopefully, the station behave itself. They don't beat them. Stay out and stay at the rest at that day, so we can have a smooth.
It won't be your birthday, so I predict it's gonna be good. Okay, it won't be your.
So what you trying to say? The Duppy them was wise because it was
they want more of you. That's all. Okay, they want you to have.
So you try. So you trying to say I conjure up all the Duppy them?
No, but
all right.
They got excited, Gerard. They're saying we need to have a birthday every other week. And you only giving them once a year.
Right?
I think they don't file a grievance.
You know, for my first time doing this, it was easy getting in. I don't understand how that other fella has such a hard time he can't get on the phone.
Hello. Don't be throwing no shade at this late hour, okay? All right, we have to work with them and see. Maybe.
Listen,
it's that time.
I just realized that I mean, maybe it's because of my disability that I can't see why you have so much problem.
Well, anyway, we're gonna see how you gonna make it. Things change when you run for governor, okay?
When they what?
When you run for governor. I don't see the thing them out there, Jared for governor. I gotta make sure my name in there.
You run for governor? No, sir, not me.
Well,
not me.
I want everybody to know I run in for life.
Away from the legislature and this BI government.
I run in for life.
Because when they come and start to lock them up, I don't want me nowhere near.
Well, I ain't against. I am for life. I run in for life. Okay?
I don't look good in orange.
Okay, it's that time. We gotta go. All right.
All right.
Good talking with you.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I will.
Good thing.